right, welcome back to the Cricket Today podcast on Wednesday, December 27. Excited for less rain than we had yesterday, but at least we got a bit of cricket for the second day of the Boxing Day test that starts today. I'm your host, Liam McAllion, also known as the Stats Guy. I'm here with Marcus Bazzano, flying everywhere, eating lots of Christmas ham. He was doing everything. How you going, Marcus?
Oh, good. I reckon I chucked on a few kilos over the Christmas holidays.
Yeah, lovely.
But you should be pretty excited, Stats Guy. You're heading to the cricket today, aren't you?
I am, yeah. I've heading to the cricket. Check out the socials, probably chuck a few things up there. I think it should be a pretty good day. We got less rain predicted. I think it's only supposed to be 3 mils or something. So it should get a full day's cricket in. I'm very excited. That's my favourite event to go to every year, the Boxing Day test. So it should be really good. We should get a real good crowd because I ended up getting 60-something thousand there yesterday, actually, which surprised me. So should get a decent crowd. Today on the show, we're going to cover all things Boxing Day test, day 2. Summer is here in Melbourne. You've got plenty of Big Bash going on. You've got the Boxing Day test. And we're also going to do some yeah nahs, some controversial things in the Big Bash, I think. And then also just a bit about Pakistan and how they're going at the moment. Also, we're going to cover the Big Bash game tonight with some SuperCoach, of course, with the matches ahead as well. So let's get right into it, Marcus. Boxing Day test. Australia versus Pakistan was day 1. We're going to do a bit of a wrap about that. Australia are 3 for 187. I think the Pakistan bowlers actually did pretty well. What do you reckon, Marcus? And who did well with the bat?
Oh, no one really got on with their innings, but Khawaja 42, Marnus looking strong at the crease, 44 not out.
Yep.
Ball in hand, Hassan Ali was probably the pick of the bowlers, 1 for 28, looked the most likely of the Pakistan bowlers to get some wickets, but yeah, they really muddled it up, didn't they, Pakistan?
They did,
yeah. They were poor early, dropped an absolute sitter.
I was going through my head of all the people that could have catched that. I think a baby would have caught that one. That was pretty bad. That was literally, he didn't have to move. He looked like he was set, and then all of a sudden it hit his thumb, and he's hurt his thumb instead of catching the ball. I don't know about that one.
That's a bit like Jim. I reckon that's how he broke his finger. He dropped an absolute volley.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, James, who was on the podcast yesterday, I reckon. He did break his finger wicket-keeping. Yeah, maybe. I'll have to get an actual replay.
It was the right. Well, you'll get onto the yeah. Now maybe do that first before I make my point.
All right, we'll go. Marcus. Pakistan made the right call bowling first.
Yeah, 100%. Okay, 100%. Either team that won the toss would have bowled first. I think in those conditions, definitely got to bowl first. The drainage at the G's is very good. In terms of rain, copped a lot of rain, Melbourne, the 2 days before that. So if you had any worries about the ball maybe getting a bit wet, a bit heavy, probably not the case. So it was good bowling conditions. They were just off the mark early, especially. That would have helped them if they could hit that spot right away. Like I said, they had chances, and that's probably what separates Pakistan from the top test teams is the fielding. And although they got the review correct with Steve Smith, was a good review, they also have made some blunders already this test series with their reviews. So
they have. Yeah,
definitely some fielding issues for Pakistan early, but do you think it was the right call, Statsco?
I'll say yeah. It depends. Now Aussies could sort of run over them a little bit, I reckon. But if they got a few wickets early, that drop catch, obviously we talked about, was a big moment in the game. If they did that, then we could have been 4 for who knows. The pressure would have been on. As you mentioned, the fielding, when teams are really just fielding well and you can't get through the gaps as easy, or the ball's not going to the boundary as easy, or you're hitting a catch either side of them and they might actually take them. Whereas Australia, you got Steve Smith who can dive for a catch. You've got lots of players. Marnus, you got a really good fielding team. Just puts a lot of pressure on. So yeah, I'll say yeah, but there's just a big question mark on their fielding. Like you said, they've got the talent to put the pressure on the other team, but not with the fielding. So that's a bit of a worry, I reckon. All right, Marcus, let's move on to who will dominate on day 2. So we had some interesting, tough calls with the bat, and the Aussies didn't really dominate, but who will dominate on day 2?
Well, I'm looking at bowlers for either side, actually. I'm going to throw out a call for Pakistan and a call for Australia.
Yep.
I think because it's going to be really good bowling conditions again on day 2. I think Hassan Ali could be the player to dominate for Pakistan. But if Australia have to come out and bowl early, I think Josh Hazlewood is the man. He just hits the 9 on length every time. And if anyone's going to get the ball moving just and nipping just a little bit, and get the Pakistan players sort of half playing, dabbing at it, I think Josh Hazelwood is the man for that. So
yeah, okay.
I think he can dominate with the ball.
Yep. I agree with that, actually. You got the few of those sort of bowlers, if they just hit, like definitely Hassan Ali, he's got the pace and the swing to just get in the right spot. They were showing bowling highlights the other day. I built the man a statue. I wish he was playing, as we pretty much talked about for 20 minutes in our podcast yesterday. But he would just pitch it up every time. I think they weren't pitching it up enough, weren't attacking the stumps enough, Pakistan. They've definitely got the talent. If they just pitch it up a little bit, they're going to get some wickets. And then, as you mentioned, Hazelwood, I think Hazelwood would be licking his lips, looking at the clouds. I'm looking out the window right now. You got still overcast conditions. Going to get the ball swinging, sort of a bit like English conditions when you're playing in England in the summer. When the ball's swinging a little bit more, you got the clouds to help you out. So I think it'll be pretty interesting to see who the bowler is. But then if a batter's going to dominate, I think Travis Head can. He just sort of swings through the line. I think he might come out today and start really attacking play, sort of that one-day mode that we've seen from him in Test cricket over the last couple of years. So I would love to see a bit of Trav ball there as I'm at the cricket today. All right. So praying for some Trav ball. Let's get into some BBL wraps. There was 2 matches after the test last night. They went really late, actually. It was
how good.
It was so good. There was cricket from if there was no washout, it would have been cricket from 10:30 till midnight. So that's pretty good.
Yeah, you could have pulled an all-nighter, actually. I think there was an international game. I think India were playing. I can't remember who they were playing, actually.
But they were playing last night. Yeah. I think it might have been.
But rolled straight into the second test.
That's bloody
the second test. Day 2.
Oh, there we go. India playing South Africa, still going.
South Africa.
8 for 208 off their innings at the moment. Yeah, okay. Sixers versus Stars was last night. I'll give a quick score wrap. So the Sixers made 8 for 154 off their 20, which was a bit below their usual par, dominating, especially against the Stars. Just a heads up, they've beaten the Stars before this game 9 straight times. Then the Stars came out really solid, 6 for 155. They lost a few wickets in the middle. Hilton Cartwright, as you'll mention later, did really well. And the Stars, they finally get a win, Marcus. I can't believe it. I can't believe it.
Jeez. They're off bottom. Everyone who was slamming us for Renegades last might have to look at the ladder, I reckon.
This is going to be pretty funny. I reckon a lot of our predictions are actually going to be pretty close now.
Yeah, but I think James Vince was unlucky not to get man of the match despite losing.
Yep.
He was really solid with the bat, 83 or 55. Like, it was a sort of a tough pitch to get settled in early, particularly in the 2020 format. But once he started finding the middle, started playing some great shots, and it took superb run out by Glenn Maxwell to get him back to the sheds. Yeah. So. Yeah, he was impressive, and Usama Mir with the ball, 3 for 19 for the Melbourne Stars. He was brilliant with his length, and particularly he had to bowl in the power play too. And everyone on the offside up as a spinner can definitely be tough to bowl on. He still went for early double digits, but I thought
he pulled it back.
Yeah, wow, 3 for 19 is pretty good.
Yeah, he was really good. And then Hilton Cartwright, as you mentioned, I think you are right. James Vince is a bit unlucky. They've given it to Hilton Cartwright, 47 not out off 30 balls. He was the match winner there. And then Sean Abbott, 2 for 32. I think he always produces wickets, and he's still, I think, the leading wicket taker in the competition's history. So he always knows how to produce wickets. But the Stars got the job done with Hilton Cartwright getting the job done pretty easily in the last over. So can't believe they've won. They'll be jumping back off the bottom of the ladder. So good on the Stars. Let's get into a nah about that bit of controversy. There's always a bit of controversy surrounding the Sixers this season. A few dodgy things going on. The catch by Henriques last night should be counted as a catch, Marcus.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd be pretty filthy if I got that taken off me. It's sort of a bit like Mitch Starc in the Ashes, wasn't it?
It was, a bit of reference.
He sort of had to control himself and place the ball on the ground. Still out of control, but I think that's pretty stiff if you're given that not out by the letter of the law. And if you compare it to Stark's, it probably should have been not out, but I think that's a catch every day of the week. Okay. Really brilliant, controlled it all the way down, stuck in the hand. So I'm definitely claiming that.
Oh, okay. In local cricket, I think, every day of the week you're claiming that. But letter of the law, like you said, I'm going to go nah here. I don't think it should be counted as a catch. I don't think he would have caught it unless Sorry, he wouldn't have caught it unless he did that. He's obviously landed. He landed directly on the ball. I think Starks wasn't as bad. I think they didn't pay Starks. I need to look into the rule book a bit more. I think I have to find go and get a print off a rule book because I'm not 100% sure of what the actual ruling is. The commentators were talking about it, but I think because it was the initial impact, I think that shouldn't be paid out, and it was paid out. You saw that Rogers he was filthy that he went out for the Stars last night to that. So yeah, I don't think it's fair that you can catch it and ground the ball. That make sure you catch it when it's touching the ground. I don't know. It's a bit of a grey area at the moment in cricket. And I think the Big Bash will have a look at it.
Yeah, I think as long as you have your fingers under the ball when it hits the ground as well, it can count. And it was just that fine line, whether it was or wasn't. But I disagree with you. I reckon that's a catch every day of the week.
Okay. Yeah, we'll have to see. I reckon the Big Bash might look into those rules and see what happens there. All right, so the Stars, they're off the board on the board with a win. I can't believe that they finally got the win.
That's their first win against the Sixers since BBL 08, I think.
5 years, I think. Yeah.
Well, at the SCG against the Sixers. So
that's amazing.
There you go.
Yeah, they'll be up and about that. Then we got the Scorchers versus Renegades wrap for us in Melbourne. That was going to all hours. I think 12:30 or something. But that was good. We got more cricket to watch. So the Scorchers, they came out 162 off the 20 overs, which I'll talk about in a sec. They had a bit of a collapse. Then the Renegades, I thought they could have made 162, but 8 for 149, just fell short off their 20 overs. Marcus, you want to get into some of the scores or even the collapse of the Scorchers, which was awesome.
Yeah. I'll start off with the collapse because, they started poorly. I think they were 2 for 4 or 2 for 5 after the first couple overs. But after Josh Inglis and Aaron Hardy in particular, first game as skipper, 57 or 41, Inglis 64 or 44, really steadied the ship and got them to a winnable score. And they ended up finishing the innings with 7 for 5.
What? 7?
Which is absolutely ridiculous. That's local cricket collapse.
Yeah, that's my Sunday team. We had a few of those. I think openers would each make 80 each, and then we'd get bowled out for 200 or something like that.
Yeah, it was pretty ridiculous. I think only 3 players made more than 1.
Oh, my God.
I think there were a lot of ducks, a lot of ones.
Actually, I'm going to have a look at the scorecard right now just to have a bit of a laugh about it. So
it was Hardy, Inglis, and one other. I can't remember who made 20.
Yeah, after Laurie Evans went out for 24, he was the other one. You got Hobson. So from Hobson, who's coming in at 6 or 7, sorry, you got 1-1-1-0-0-1. That is no one made more than 1 in the second half of their batting innings, which is that is unbelievable. 7
I think even Zach Crawley only made 1 as well. Batting at 1. So that was the theme of the day, wasn't it? But
I wonder if that's a stat. They're the first team to win when only 3 of their players make over 1.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
I reckon that could be a stat. I'm not going to say that's 100%.
Only against the Renegades too could that happen. They could lose that game.
Yeah, and then they lost. Yeah, exactly.
But I think Tom Rogers with the ball for the Renegades early on was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 3 for 18 is a brilliant short format bowler, particularly in the Big Bash. I think he's very underrated.
Yeah.
And he performed particularly early on. But Sean Marsh with the bat for the Renegades.
He was good.
59 of 36 after coming in, and then AJ Ty 2 for 21. He's always brilliant, particularly out west.
Yeah, you get AJ Ty. He's just the T20 Big Bash specialist. He always dominates. He's probably one of their. Yeah, I think he'd be their leading wicket taker of all time. I'm pretty sure. He's always got the cool socks on. He's always got He has different. I see on Instagram if you want to check out. I don't know why I'm giving him a shout on Instagram, but he has a pretty funny Instagram. Every game he's got a new pair of socks, and you get to vote for which socks he wears, and he wears some funny socks. He's a very funny man, and he's a gun cricketer. So really like AJ Ty. All right, so we got the Scorchers won, the Stars won. So the Stars were a bit of a surprise, but the Scorchers, pretty sure they were going to get the job done all the way there. Then the Heat versus Thunder is tonight. So we're going to go through a SuperCoach pick and a prediction. Who is your best SuperCoach pick for the Heat versus Thunder tonight, Marcus?
I'm on the tall Paul train.
Oh, I love tall Paul.
Yeah, we were loving him when we went to the game against the Renegades.
Yep.
It was quite funny actually when Quinton de Kock was keeping and he was squatting down real low. Looked so tiny compared to Paul Walter, who was at the strikers end. He's raised in price about 50,000, I think.
Wow.
Which is very strong. He's 155,000 now. He scored 100 plus in both games. I think 101 against the Stars, and then high 100, 150 odd, I think.
Yeah.
130 odd against the Renegades in a man of the match performance. But he's only picked in 15% of SuperCoach BBL teams.
Okay.
So I think I might trade him in for the game against the Thunder, because he can do the job with the both bat and ball, as we saw last time out against the Renegades.
Yeah.
So what about you, Stats Guy? Who's your?
I actually don't mind a bit of tall Paul, because 155,000. I know he's gone up a lot, but for a guy that's getting those big scores, they're usually around that, closer to the 200,000 mark. So I really like tall Paul there. Zaman Khan, I talked him up last week. He was awesome over the weekend. Got 3 for. Got I think about 94. I think his SuperCoach points. He's only around for another game or two, I think, but I think he's still can make a lot of money. His break even is still really solid, really low, and he's just got the perfect T20 ball. He's got the Yorker. He bowls a Yorker every second ball. I took out Maxi over the weekend, which was an absolute peach. He's just darts it in really quick. So I really like Zaman Khan. He's only 143,000. And I think he can make a bit of money. And he's got that Slinger Malinga action, as I've mentioned on this show. If you've got a weird action, you're going in my SuperCoach team. So I'm getting Zaman Khan.
Yeah, I agree. Because I think the Yorker in BBL is probably the hardest ball to bowl.
Yeah.
Because if you get it slightly wrong, slightly short, slightly full,
going over the fence,
you can just get hit anywhere, straight, lap sweeped.
Yeah, ram shot.
Yeah, players can hit it anywhere these days. And Zaman Khan, he does that superbly.
Yeah.
He's probably almost the best in the competition at providing the Yorker.
Yeah.
And I think his action's probably a little bit hard to face as well.
Yep. Yeah, agreed. Especially when he does a slow ball and his arm's coming sideways. I couldn't think of anything worse facing that at 140 clicks. That would be not fun. So Heat versus Thunder predictions. Who are you going here, Marcus? Who's going to win?
Well, still on board the Heat train. I think at home as well. They were first before yesterday, but after the Scorchers win, I'm not sure. Might have dropped a second, but I'm all aboard the Heat on this one. Yeah,
they're still first actually, so they're still 3-0. They had that washout, which probably cost them another win. So they're first. They're absolutely fine. They're going to they're doing the opposite of last year, where they charged home from fourth, but I think they got a good chance at the title at the moment. I can't believe I'm saying that, but they're probably on par with the Scorchers at the moment for the best two teams. Sixers have only scraped over the line in a couple of games, but the Scorchers and Heat have dominated. So I'm going to go the Heat as well. The Thunder, where are the Thunder? They're fifth, 1 and 2. Yeah, it's still a bit scratchy. I think they rely too much on their top order and a bit on Zaman Khan with the ball. Daniel Sams was really good over the weekend. As we've mentioned, I do love Daniel Sams still, but he's a bit inconsistent. They need a bit more consistency, from the likes of Sams, Alex Hales. Even Ollie Davis has been solid, but maybe pick up that strike rate. So I think the Heat have a better overall and more consistent team. So I'm going to go the Heat as well. So that means they'll be 1 game clear on top of the table if they win tonight. So that could be a huge win. All right, that's it for the Cricket Today show. We'll be back with this tomorrow after day 3. I'll be at the cricket, so check out some socials. We'll be doing some fun stuff on there. Get right around the show. Subscribe on your podcast apps, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, etc. Like and review it, would ya? Chuck a follow to Cricket Today and Cricket Today AU all over the socials. That's Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and X. Send in any questions on those socials, anything you want us to chat to us about. You can have a go at us about our ladder predictions from BBL at the start of the season, or our blind rankings, or anything you want to have a go at us about. Marcus will reply in the comments and have a bit of fun there, I reckon.
Oh, for sure.
That's it, I think. Thanks, Marcus.
Thanks, Liam.
Thank you, Gerald, for producing. Thanks to me, and it's another episode of Cricket Today done. We're out.